Hi guys, my name is Harley Riley. I am the occupational therapist that covers Adams Central, Harvard, Silver Lake, and Red Cloud. I just wanted to provide some tips for parents during this time at home with their kids, just to be working on their grasp and their writing and their scissor skills if you are having to do packets that are sent home. So first of all, just talking about grasp. The ideal grasp is a 3-point grasp or a tripod grasp, so the thumb, the index finger, and then the middle finger stabilizing. This is what we aim for. We want it to be isolated wrist and finger movements, not whole arm movements. Some kids will use this third finger on the pen or pencil, and then the fourth finger as a stabilizer. This is functional for most kids. I'm not asking you to change it by any means, and don't think that it's not appropriate. The tripod grasp is just, it's using the more appropriate muscle group to maintain this pencil grasp. Another thing is when you're working with younger kids who are having a hard time grasping their pencil or crayons, it's good to use really short, like golf pencils. That way the kids can't hold the pencil up here or try to fist it because they don't have as much room to hold their writing utensil. This is something that I have. It's the little finger crayons. It's just good to practice the three-finger grasp. Three-finger grasp, as you can see, if it's really short, there's not a ton of room for me to get a good coloring motion out of that. So short pencils and crayons, break them in half if you need to, that would be great. Let's see, some things that I like to do for hand strength to encourage hand endurance and handwriting endurance in grasp is this little Mr. Tennis Ball guy. I have pom-poms. I am squeezing it with my right hand and feeding him my pom-poms. That will strengthen my grasp to be able to sustain my pencil grasp better. So things that you can do at home for hand strengthening would be something like this. If you have an old tennis ball laying around, you could just cut a mouth in it. Putty, if you have that laying around. Play-Doh, clay, maybe the kids can help you bake in the kitchen. They can use rolling pins to help you roll out the bread or knead the bread. I save old Parmesan containers and I put pom-poms in it, and I can have them practice opening containers and putting the pom-poms in. Also, tape or duct tape can be really fun. You can tape their name on a surface and have them remove that tape and use those pincher skills and the hand strength to do so. I've also seen on Pinterest they have activities like animal rescue. You can tape a toy animal to the wall and rescue that animal and pull that animal off. Things like that. Bubble wrap is great. I have some bubble wrap, but I'm not going to annoy you with that. And then I guess the last thing that I'll leave you with is like kitchen tongs. Have them practice picking things up with kitchen tongs and placing them in a container. You can make a game out of it. You can make a race out of it. Or tweezers. These are all really good things to develop the pencil grasp and strength, and hopefully to maintain what kids do have over this break, however long it might be. Next, quickly, I just wanted to go over scissors skills. So first step with the scissors is we want the kids to put them on correctly. So we want their thumb to be in the little hole, and then 2 or 3 fingers, I can't fit 3 fingers, in the bottom hole. We want them to have their thumbs up, just as you would cut. And then with their helper hand on the paper, we would want their thumbs to be up on the paper as well. I'm going to cut this part out first. I have these guiding dots because some kids fail when they cut to move their hand up the page. They'll keep it down here at the bottom. So some kids might need an extra visual to move their fingers up to the appropriate dots. Another thing when cutting, sometimes when cutting out a circle or a curved shape, for instance, kids will get to going like this and they start doing the chicken wings. So something that I like to do is I would put a piece of paper or a folder or a toy or anything under their arm and have them hold that there while I'm cutting up the circle. That way, rather than winging their arm out, they have to rotate it with their helper hand. Another thing that I do this is just a clock reference just to make it a little bit easier. I put on there 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock for their helper hand, for their thumb to know where to go when you do turn the circle. So you get to the beginning of the circle, put your thumb at the 6 o'clock, and I'm not winging out this arm either. Once you get to the 12 o'clock, it's time to move to the 3 o'clock. Once you get to the 9 o'clock, it's time to move to the 12 o'clock. Sorry, that's not a good visual. And once you get to the 6 o'clock, you move to the 9 o'clock. So you can do that squares and other shapes and things like that too. So these are just little things that I do with the kids. And I just pray that they don't lose these skills. So I would love if you guys were able to enforce things like this at home. Just make it fun. And most of all, I just hope that you enjoy this time slowing down with your kids, and don't stress. We're all here to help you, and we want the best for your kids. So please let me know if you have any questions. My email address is harleyriley.ot@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.